Joshua, take one.
Hi there, I'm Joshua. I'm a young man who is very ambitious. I'm very courageous. I love learning. I love studying, whether it be art, whether it be anything in the creative sense. I love music. Music is like my addiction. I can't go a day without listening to any type of music, whether it be instrumentals or hip hop or any type of genre. And there's days where I'll be unhappy. I realize that I'm not listening to music. So that's like the time where my brain just goes into a state of calmness. And I love being active. I love gymming. I love playing soccer. I used to play soccer growing up. I love football. I support Liverpool. People really don't like that team, but I love it. And my favorite player is Ronaldo. I love CR7. But with me, I find myself very ambitious. I love just learning what there is to life. Like, I consider myself a scholar. So I love just putting myself out there in situations of whether it be anything, just culture or different mediums of life, I also love anime, I love reading as well. And things I do, I consider myself a person that is very passionate. So if anything I'm doing it and I'm enjoying it to the utmost full limit, If I'm like listening to music, I don't just listen to music because it's a chore, it's a habit. I do it because I want to do and I love it, And that goes with anything I love. And right now I'm busy reading The Witcher. I played the game. I love all of it, man.
So Josh, would you say things are either black or white? There's like no gray. You're either in or you're out.
That's a good question. I don't think life is that simple, though. I think sometimes you are in the gray. There are times when you are in the minority of you don't figure life out. And I think there's a lot of us. I think a lot of us people, we don't know who we are until we 35, 45, 50, 60, even 70. We don't know who we are because we're in that gray area, so to say. So, yeah.
And you're still trying to figure out who you are?
Yes, correct. I would lie. I would sit there and lie and say that I do know what I am, figured out. No, I don't. And that I think is very exciting. I'm very sure of myself and I'm confident of who I am, but it doesn't mean I know who I am fully. There's nothing left to learn, So, yeah.
What's been the biggest lesson that you've learned about yourself this year so far?
Yeah, I think I need to cut off some access from people. I'm someone that's very social. I'm a social butterfly. I am myself when I'm around my people, like my friends, my loved ones. I'm myself with no limit, with no cap. And I've learned to generally just cut off some access. I would be an open book. In the prior years, people would figure me out quickly. And that goes against who I am because I love being in control of myself, not having another person, in a space where they can control me. I don't like that. I love my agency. I love my freedom. So that's definitely one thing that I've learned about myself this year is there's me time. There's me time. Me time it really is important. I've learned that this year, that you need to cut off some access.
And then with me time and filling up your own cup, how does that look in your life?
I think it's doing things where, like I said before, I'm constantly learning. So I like to read. I love films. I love watching movies. And there's movies that I particularly enjoy are intellectual movies that it just generally, it stimulates me. I love mental stimulation, intellectual stimulation. So that's me in my me time or doing just nothing, that is something, doing nothing is something. I'm someone who's restless. I'm always busy doing something. My mom knows that I'm barely at home. There's times where I'm barely at home because I'm always doing something out meeting this person or that person or going for a coffee date or whatever it may be. But being in your me time alone, in your comfort space, that's very important. Very important. So yeah, I listen to music. That's one thing I can say, for example, and reading and learning.
So you were saying music's like quite a big thing for you in life. Are you like the kind of person that when you wake up in the morning, the music goes on?
After the first hour, because the me time is important. Your brain needs to first switch on. I don't like to bombard my brain and my mind with this music, like instant stimulation. I have to first turn on. Have a slow morning, a quiet morning, if preferable. So wake up early, I do my push-ups, I make up my bed. Like I have a routine, and I stick by the routine. And then I don't eat until an hour, 2 hours after waking up. I'm very strict with that. So in that time, then I'll play my music. When I'm eating or something, I'll play my music. But the first hour or so, no music, just calmness.
So slow mornings, but are they early mornings, or would you like to wake up later?
I'm not a fan of waking up late. There's times where I do wake up late, and I'm like, I don't like waking up late. I hate it. I feel like the day is gone. Like there's a person out there with an edge over me, So I prefer waking up between 6 and 7 a.m. That's optimal for me. 8 for the absolute latest. Like that's like cutting it. But for me, 6 to 7 a.m. is the best time to wake up for me.
And what does a successful day look for you? Like, how does that look? If you can get to, you're about to go to bed, close your eyes. If you look back, how does a successful day look?
There's a quote that I love by, not a quote per se, but it's a rule of life. Like it's a thing that say you must have 3 wins every day. So that's a spiritual win, a mental win, and a physical win. So whether it's reading, that can be a mental win, learning. I'm a student, I'm studying law, so I have to do something along those lines. Physical, gym, run, go for a walk, something active, move your body. Your body needs motion because we are energy, we need to move. And spiritual, meditate, journal, that's very important. I journal basically every day. And I find that's for me is a nice successful day. That's a win, a W in my books.
So this like thirst for knowledge, this thirst for spirituality, is that something that you've cultivated in yourself? Or is that something that you've learned through someone else?
A large influence is my father. He's really planted that seed since a young age. I've always been curious. I've always been a curious soul. And I think what he did is he allowed me to be curious. He didn't put a cap on it like a limit or a restriction. He just let me be curious. Like fire, just run wild, And I feel like that really played a big role into me becoming an adult. Now I'm curious with no limitations. I ask questions. I'm very inquisitive. I want to know more. So he's a very big factor for that. But a large also is myself. I've always been curious since I can remember. I love asking people things or asking questions.
Is family quite important for you?
Yes, family is very important to me, but most particularly friends. I believe that family is important, that's first and foremost. But the friends that you forge and the bonds you forge over the years that is number one priority. Because you find yourself closer to your friends, for example, than your own cousins or aunties or uncles, and you have to ask yourself why, because you're close to these people. They represent you. You are the sum of 5 people around you. So our friends, I know who they are. I'm really close to them, and they know I love to laugh, so they know that they always make me laugh. That's my love language, laughing,
And then lastly, what version of you are you most proud of?
The version I am right now, because I know that living in the present moment is the number one most important thing in life. You can live in the future, you can live in the past, but you are here in this present moment. So the version I am right now, he puts one foot in front of the other and he keeps moving forward. And I think I'm very stoic in that sense. I represent the optimist perspective, you know. I don't like to look at the glass half full, rather the glass is half empty, it's half full, you know. I think that's the version I am right now. I look at life with a very optimistic tint and angle. I don't think like, oh, life is so this and that. It reflects who you are, you know. So yes.